All right, this is Dumb and Drummer again, and this time we got my buddy Josh Sleaze from the Bombpops and Murderland. How's it going, dude?
Going, man. Just cutting some plants, and as you can see behind me, I'm at work.
I like that you're just doing a podcast from work.
Yeah, multitasking. I like to. Shit's got to get done somehow.
Right?
Yep.
So you work at a pot farm?
I do. I got a job up in Seattle in November. It was actually September. I worked for 3 weeks when I came up here, and went back down in the beginning of October and gathered all of my shit and moved up here in November. So I am a Seattleite now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Everything's legal there, right?
Yeah, we're fully 502, all that good shit.
Very nice.
We've got to weigh everything, including our waste, like every leaf that we fucking throw away. It's wild. But they just want everything accounted for. So,
wow.
Yeah. You even have to weigh the stuff you throw out?
All of our waste needs to be weighed and documented.
Wow.
It isn't like McDonald's where if there's like 3 apple pies left at the end of the night, if you're closing, you just take them home.
Yeah, no, unfortunately. we have a traceability system that every plant is traced from clone to harvest.
Wow.
So you can keep track if someone's swiping some product?
Oh, yeah, definitely. All the weights are logged, and it's going to lose a little bit if it's sitting for a while, but not that much. So if it's significant, then we'll go to the tapes and figure it out.
You guys remember that from Seinfeld, Significant Shrinkage? You remember that?
Yeah.
Or George Costanza's in the pool. You know, I was in the pool. It's the same thing with the weed. It's like, well, there is shrinkage.
Yeah. Is it significant shrinkage?
Is it significant? Is the question. Are you stealing weed? Is the question.
So I guess let's just dive right into the questions. So you were saying you just moved up to Seattle. I kind of can combine this with that first question. Your bands are in Los Angeles. So what is one of the biggest challenges of being a touring musician? And then on top of that, being a touring musician 2 states away from his bands?
Well, we're at a stage now that everything is booked so far out in advance. It's only a 2-hour flight, 2.5 at the most. I've already had to come down 3 or 4 times this year to do a few things for the Bombpops, and as shows are starting to happen more, I'll fly down for rehearsal the weekend before for a few days, and then a couple days before whatever we've got going on. If we've got a big tour going on, then I'll come down a week ahead of the tour and fly out with them. It's to think that all 4 of us are going to live in the same city forever is kind of ridiculous. Once you get to a certain point, you don't have to live in the same city and you don't have to practice with each other every day. As long as everybody practices every day, as long as everyone stays rehearsed, when it's time to rehearse as an ensemble, everything should be fine. If somebody's slacking off, it creates a bit of difficulty with that. But as long as everyone is practiced when it comes time to rehearse, it should be fine. They weren't thrilled that I was leaving LA, just for the ease of, oh well, we can practice whenever we want. Now it's like everything has to be scheduled, and we have to stick to that schedule strictly. Mm-hmm. But so far, so good. It's working. We figured that we weren't going to be playing any shows likely until the end of this year, which it's slowly changing. We just got offered Punk in the Park in Arizona at the end of May. We confirmed that, so we're crossing our fingers and hoping that happens. Punk in the Park in November in California. we're super stoked to play that. I don't see it being an issue living in a different state. I could live in a different country and it would still be fine. The last record that we did, we had the mixer master over at the blasting room. We had Andrew cut it up, and I have the tracks with no drums. I have the entire new record with no drums, so I can practice the new record whenever I want.
Okay.
I was working on getting the old records the same way, but Fogel couldn't find the first full length, and it's in a hard drive somewhere deep in the studio. Hopefully soon he can find that, just to have the ability to practice without needing them there, without having to sing the song in my head and play it. They have all of the tracks with just drums. It clicks off and the song starts and the drums are just playing, so they can sit there and play along to the whole entire new record every day if they wanted to.
Nice.
And going forward, every record that we do, everything that we track, we're going to try to do that, to have the ability to practice at all times.
It reminds me a lot of with the pandemic, like the work from home dynamic.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like, well, we could rehearse live, but isn't it more efficient just to do it this way, and then we can just play more gigs and burn less calories? Like getting together, I can still do my job. I don't have to fly there necessarily. Da da da.
Yeah, it's definitely beneficial in more ways than one. Even if I lived in LA, we would still probably do that just to have the option. Oh, well, somebody's sick. We were supposed to practice today. I'm just going to sit in my room and play to the record for an hour, or you know what I mean? Like, it's very beneficial to just to have that kind of material to work with.
I almost feel like that way it's because when everybody gets together for a rehearsal, it's usually like, you got 2-3 hours set aside. You only have so much time to go over so many songs. Whereas if you're practicing with yourself, if song A, it like the back of your hand, you run through it, you're done. Whereas you may have to spend a half an hour doing it because your bass player or guitarist needs to work on it.
Yeah.
Whereas vice versa, if there's a song you really need to work on, you can sit there for 45 minutes just working that part out.
Totally. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't, so far it hasn't been a problem. I don't see it being an issue. I know plenty of bands that are our level or just bigger than us that nobody lives in the same state. Mm-hmm. Some people live in other countries. Intruder Green from Mass Intruder lives in Germany.
Oh, wow.
They're still fine. They play it all the time. It's a thing that once you get to a certain point, as long as everybody stays professional and everybody practices on their own, it's I don't see it as a necessity to live in the same city or state. Get together when you need to, and you rehearse. And if somebody's not ready, then they go home and they practice on their own, and they come back the next day ready to rehearse. We'll go through and get through the night, go home and do your homework, and come back ready. But it was kind of funny. Neil and Jen were talking about it, and they were laughing, and like it took Josh to leave LA for us to like be ready for rehearsals every time.
Quick follow-up question that's not on the list, actually, because here on this podcast, we try to engage all different types of drummers. Mm-hmm. So there may be drummers that are in a different state, or they can't rehearse, or, the studio shut down, pandemic, blah, 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 whatever the circumstances are. Do you have a place where you can play drums, I'm assuming, then, whenever you want? I mean, are you set up? Because I'm sure there's people listening that don't have... They got to play on a pad, or they got to think outside the box, like they can't play at their apartment or something like that. Oh, are you going to take me at work? You got the drum set up. Okay. There you go.
So,
they have it there or what?
I have a place to set up and play, which is
okay. Word.
It's important. And I was looking for a couple. I was talking to a few bands that I know up here when I first came up, and looking for a studio spot. And my boss was like, "Oh, just bring your drums here and set them up in the office." And I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
"Yeah." So it's pretty rad. He plays guitar too. We've jammed a couple times.
Okay.
It's cool to be able to. All right, well, I'm done with work for the day. I'm gonna beat up my drums for an hour and then head to the bar.
For the people that can't bring their drum set to their job, what advice do you have? Because I love the like. I don't want to go off on a tangent. I don't really love rehearsing because of what to Brett's point earlier. You don't know the song. You didn't work on it. I didn't work on it.
Right.
We're just gonna flail or whatever. Like so, I don't have a studio. I can't play a full drum kit. I live in an apartment. I have really picky neighbors or something. Have you ever been in that position, or do you have any input on what people
I
can
have been. I have an aquarium practice pad drum set.
do? Okay.
I set up my big practice pad as my snare pad. I'm actually gonna get the Zildjian silent cymbals.
Oh, the
L80s or whatever. They're
Quiet. They're pretty rad. And I bought a mesh head for my snare drum before I left Southern California, just to see. I had to buy a bunch of heads for a drum set that I was redoing, and I saw it and I was like, ah, shit, I'm just gonna get it. And it's quiet. It's
nice.
really quiet. So if you don't have an acoustic set and you want to be able to play, I mean, you could put those heads on every drum. I think they make one for the kick also.
They do.
Yep.
And dude, it's unbelievably quiet. Now, if you're in a small apartment complex or an apartment building, it might be a little bit rumbly still, depending on if you're downstairs or upstairs. But I'm gonna get a set to film music videos because I hate filming music videos because I can't hit my drums.
Oh yeah.
This way, if I have the Zildjian quiet cymbals and those Remo mesh heads, I can beat the shit out of the drums and it'll look better.
Yeah.
There's a couple music videos that I did maybe 5, 6, 8 years ago that you can tell I'm not really playing. And because I couldn't, because we didn't have a loud enough playback. So if I was hitting anything, nobody would be able to hear shit.
Is that the one where you're playing traditional grip in one of those music videos? Like you're kind of just playing lighter?
That one we actually had good enough playback to where I could play just really quietly. But my cymbals are always a problem. They're always too loud.
Yeah.
Especially in that setting. And with those Zildjian cymbals, I doubt you'd be able to tell that they're not real cymbals.
Real cymbals, right.
You know what I mean?
Or you know what I've seen dudes do is they take those and they put their real cymbal on top.
Oh, sick.
To kill the sound.
Yep,
Yeah.
but when the camera takes the shot of the cymbals, you got your nice Zildjian or Sabian or whatever.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just little things to make that easier. I hate filming music videos for that reason.
Yeah.
And, when they started coming out with all this shit, I was just like, okay, well, got to look into it.
Mm-hmm.
And, so I mean, I would recommend either outfitting your acoustic kit with those Remo silent stroke heads or getting a practice pad setup of some sort. I need to actually set up my practice pad kit at home. I haven't set it up yet. Before I get neighbors that move in downstairs.
Yeah. Always good to have a conversation. And that's a good segue into our sponsor today, which is Remo Silent Stroke Drum Heads. Exclusively at sweetwater.com. They actually have a pack. You can get the standard sizes, the kick, 3 toms, and the snare.
Yeah.
It's like $60 or something. It's not expensive.
Yeah, that's rad.
Cool. Next question is, what are your biggest priorities as an artist?
Just getting our music to a bigger audience, honestly. I've been doing this for 16 years, give or take, since I moved to LA in 2005. Um, it's all I want. I realized at a really young age that music was going to control my life, and I haven't fought it. Any opportunity I got to further my education, to further my ability, to further the connections that it takes to make something in this industry, I've taken it, and it's worked out pretty well thus far. We're finally in a good spot financially and mentally. We all have gone through a lot of shit, and we're we've figured out the dynamic that makes this band work, and it's good. We've got a slow year this year, obviously.
Yeah.
But hopefully, as more people get vaccinated and stuff starts to open up, that we can have a full year next year. Even a half a year would be tight.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, just we just want to reach a bigger audience. We want more people to experience Bombpops.
You want to take that trip as far as you can take it for the most part.
Absolutely. Till the fucking wheels fall off.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I want to bring up, because you said like your education. You went to Musicians Institute, right?
My band from Apple Valley, California, moved down to LA in 2005 and went to MI from 2005 to 2007. I have my associate's degree in percussion.
Okay, right on.
Nice.
It's the only degree I'll ever get. Besides maybe a degree in being an asshole, but wow.
I'm working on my PhD in that.
There we go.
I want to be a doctorate. If you gotta aim high. If you're gonna be an asshole, be the best asshole you can be.
So for other people considering being a touring musician, like what are some absolute essentials that they need to have? Like things that they need to have.
First of all, don't do it. It's not for everybody, man. I love it. I love being on the road. I love traveling. I love meeting new people. I love playing in new venues. Pack wisely. Bring lots of socks and underwear. Just your essentials. Your deodorant, your toothpaste. I usually bring 2 shirts for every show.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say just 2 shirts for the whole.
No. I would.
Some jackass always shows up, right? I mean, there's got to be a stinky member of the band.
No. I mean, the
Really?
girls pack like girls. So
The girls are the stinkiest?
no, they pack like they have lots of things.
Oh, okay.
They bring 2 months worth of clothes for a month tour. But I get it. It's fine. They've got to look pretty and they do a great job. It's fine.
I legit probably do the same thing. I overpack for tour.
I do too. And the main reason I bring 2 shirts until I started wearing a show shirt and designating a show shirt for like every 3 shows. I could get away with a show shirt for 3 shows. After that, the salt stains start showing up and it's just done. So I would bring 2 shirts for every show because I would wear the shirt, and then I would need a dry shirt to change into.
Oh yeah.
A shirt I would 9 times out of 10 wear into the next day, and then change into another dry shirt after the set. So I burned 2 shirts a day, which made my bag pretty heavy until this show shirt thing started happening. Now I bring like 3 to 5 show shirts and a shirt for every day.
I did a run with the metal band and I wore the same gym shorts for every show.
I
Woo!
Yeah, and I think it was by like week 2 or 3, I could almost stand the shorts up on their own.
Uh-huh.
So I ended up having to ditch the shorts, and then just went by like Walmart and bought like 5 pairs of cheap gym shorts.
Oh wow.
But yeah, because I thought I was gonna have a chance to wash, and I never got that chance.
Oh, dude, that's a bummer.
Yeah, never got the chance.
That's the thing. Don't ever think that you're gonna have a chance to wash unless like you're staying in baller ass hotels or something, which none of us are.
Can't you just get like a little laundry detergent and like?
I mean, soap and water in a sink would have been fine for sure.
Yeah, just to like tide you over. You don't have to like smell great, but just to.
That didn't even cross my mind. I'm thinking there's no washing machine. I'm screwed. I use
the fucking hand soap. If there's liquid, just warm water. Just hang it up on the tour bus or put it on a rack somewhere to dry. Put it up on
Sometimes the easiest solutions escape me. I have literally never thought about that. But we did the closest we did to that was I didn't just wash a single article, but we were in Europe and we found out no one has a fucking dryer over there.
Oh no, they don't believe in dryers, ice cubes, or cold beverages.
What?
Dude,
and when you ask for a water, you have to ask for a still water or you'll get sparkling.
Oh, I love it already, but I'm not gonna drink warm sparkling water. Fuck that.
It's like room temperature. It's not warm. It's like room temperature, but room temperature over there is cold.
No, that's not gonna work.
But no, we found out no place has a dryer, so we couldn't wash our clothes because we didn't have time. We weren't staying anywhere long enough. Yeah. So finally, we get to a place and they have a radiator dryer thing that did not work. And me and the bass player washed our clothes in the bathtub. And then by the time we had to leave, our clothes are still sopping wet. So we basically had to hang clothes across the Sprinter van. Yeah. And as we needed clothes, we would throw them on the dash and dry them with the heater.
That's tight. So I have a follow-up question on touring. Like, you covered what to pack, do's and don'ts, kind of logistics. What about playing? I've always I've never toured. I know Brett has, but like my biggest fear is like tour went great, but I'm gonna pull a Papa Roach's drummer and now I have carpal tunnel because I never stretched. We didn't have a massage therapist. I'm grinding every night. I got bad habits, whatever. So like, how do you keep your chops intact?
You've got to stretch. You've got to warm up. I take 20 to 45 minutes before every set to just sit in the van and meditate. I'll take my practice pad and warm up doing just rudiment exercises for 15 to 20 minutes. And I'll stretch my entire body, my legs, my arms, everything. It's super, super important, especially if you're playing 45 minutes to an hour set.
Yeah.
You can get away with a 30-minute set going in cold. I wouldn't recommend it because then by the time the set's over, you're finally warm and then it's over.
Yeah.
But stretching is extremely important. Our hands are our money makers. And I actually broke my hand 2 weeks before a Bombpops tour. I fractured the top bone on my pinky finger. And for 2 weeks, I was practicing. I was going to do this tour no matter what. And I practiced left-handed with a snare drum on my left foot. And it worked. I was getting it down. And 2 or 3 days before the tour, I just grabbed a drumstick and just started holding it. And I was like, I think I can hold the stick now. I can actually close my finger.
Yeah.
And the next day I went to the rehearsal studio and I taped a drumstick to my hand. And I played drums for half an hour. And it hurt like all hell. I went home and I iced my hand for a couple hours and did it again the next night. And we were leaving in 2 days, and I'm like, we had rehearsal the night before we left, and I'm like, all right, let's do this. And we did it, and I did it. And for the first week, felt fine. Every night at the end of it, it was super swollen, and I had to ice it. but I made it through a 3-week tour, and I'll never punch a dumpster again.
I would be absolutely terrified that there'd be permanent damage. Like I respect the hell out of you for that. At the same time, it's like, hey, any permanent damage would be.
Yeah, I'm. If it was more than a fracture, I would have been terrified.
It was like a break.
My hand. I mean, I've never broken a bone in my life. I've dislocated my elbow when I was 17, and I've broken fingers and toes, but I don't count those really.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the hospital. I put a fucking splint on it, and in 2 weeks it was fine, and then it had to get normal, and now it's normal. I'm worried about my wrists more than anything. Skateboarding as a kid, snowboarding growing up, I fell a lot. Every time I turn my wrists, they pop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Regardless.
Wait, you do the same thing, Brett?
Yep.
I'm always like,
it's
well, I'm sitting here watch Josh do it, and I'm sitting here with my hands below the camera, twisting my wrists, getting all the pops out.
It never stops.
I mean, it's probably not good.
It can't be.
It is what it is.
Until it starts to actually bother me, what do I do? Like I could see a physical therapist. They could tell me a bunch of shit and charge me a bunch of money.
Yeah.
It could do next to nothing.
I think what we're dancing around right now is like, if you're gonna tour, check your technique, and if you have any reservations, find the most pro level drummer you can, and whatever it costs, if you book 30 minutes or an hour with them, and you say, I'm about to go on tour, I need some advice on my technique, and have them break it down, ideally face to face, where they can be like, dude, I can see your deltoid like tensing up. You have to learn to relax. And good luck getting that done before the tour, but at least you know. Because bad technique, I feel like, is how people get carpal tunnel. Because you're smashing the snare drum, you're just muscling everything.
Bad technique flares up my sciatica with my left leg, because I'll just tense up my whole left thigh, and it gets that sciatica going because I'm not using my calf and my foot. So yeah, it's bad technique that does it. It can cause or flare up injuries.
Absolutely. I'm pretty fortunate in that regard. I had 2 great drum instructors in middle school and high school, and Rob Carson at Musicians Institute is like the hand master.
Nice.
So I've got my technique is pretty good. Traditional or match grip. I'm very fortunate to have the instructors that I've had over my life.
I did notice when you said you were warming up, you said you warm up like this.
Every time I'm talking about playing drums, I just go for traditional. I don't know why, but I do it.
I mean, name one drummer who plays traditional grip primarily that isn't amazing. You got Tommy Igoe, you got Buddy Rich, you got JoJo Mayer, you got Mark Zuckerman. I mean, what do you think? It's all just an accident that they're all like extremely good and they play traditional? Like, it's probably.
I think it's because a lot of traditional players are more from academically trained drummers.
Oh yeah. They were told that's the grip that we're gonna go with, and it's even it's traditional, it's non-traditional.
Yeah, because anytime I do traditional grip, it's for shits and giggles. I don't know shit about playing traditional grip. Actually, after breaking my wrist, I can't even do it because I can't torque my wrist far enough to get a good shot.
Oh shit.
I actually broke my wrist before a tour as well. And I had to cancel the tour. But
can we just stop with these stories? Because now I'm gonna have a broke my wrist story. I had this gig with this band. It was finally like gonna happen. I was gonna tour, and then I like fell down my stairs and landed on my. Because I'm worried about my right wrist. You could pull a Travis Barker and just play with her, but you broke your right hand.
Barker broke his right hand and played with his left hand.
Oh, he broke his right hand.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was reverse. I'm like, break the shit out of my left side. I don't give a fuck. I'll play with my right but if I break my right, it's over. Like I
Yeah,
can't.
no,
And it was my right hand.
Oh yeah, I noticed. I was like, damn, that's the worst.
My left hand and my left foot, and it was really awkward.
Yeah,
I got through half the set 3 different times. I was damn close, and then I was like, if I can hold a stick, I'll beat the shit out of it every night. I don't give a shit.
that's crazy.
And it worked. It worked out.
Well, what happened with yours, Brett? You broke it. How soon before the tour?
Oh, like a week.
Oh Jesus.
So I broke my wrist skateboarding.
So then you canceled, right?
Huh?
So then you canceled, right?
Yeah, we had to cancel the tour. We were supposed to get
okay.
a fill in. That didn't work out. We canceled the tour. I ended up losing out on a pretty cool audition. But what sucks is like as soon as the cast came off, it took like a week and I was able to play drums again. But it actually has hindered me playing guitar. It has had no effect on me playing drums, but playing guitar, I can't torque my wrist far enough. The same thing with traditional grip. I can't go far enough this way to really play on the low end of the neck.
Man.
Rehab?
Huh?
Have you been rehabbing it?
I still stretch it out every day. I actually went to physical therapy for my lower back, and I asked him, hey, what can I do for my wrist? And he said, put like a 5-pound weight in there, and you kind of spin your wrist and let the dead weight kind of turn it, and it's helped a lot.
Even just using a stress ball will get those muscles in your wrist built back up.
Yeah,
or acupuncture.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't tried that,
I've heard acupuncture works really well for it, but I want to actually get physical therapy for it because I feel like I've lost some mobility, but I kind of didn't care quite as much because the only thing I cared about it hindering was drums, and it hasn't.
Yeah.
Funny enough, the worst thing it bothers me with, aside from playing guitar, is holding my phone. If I hold my phone a certain way and I turn a certain way, my hand just drops my phone.
I thought you were going to say jerking off. I swear you were going to go there. You're like, when I want to alternate, I can't get the same flow. All right. How about anecdotes from on tour? What is your number one tour story that's funny for telling the old story for story time?
God damn. Shit, man. There's too many, and half of them I don't remember. Well,
and there's so many that are appropriate to tell.
That's very true. Well, let's see. This one time, where were we? We were in Spain. We were staying with the promoter, and we left. It was a small little. It was basically a village, not a town.
Okay.
And they caught wind of a show in town, and the cops set up at the end of the road because there's one way in and one way out to this venue that we were at. And we pull up, and the promoter and his girlfriend are in the car in front of us, and we're in the van. And the cops pull us over, and they pull him out of the car. And like 10, 15 minutes go by, and he's talking to the cops, and the cops come and ask us if we can take his girlfriend home because he's going to jail because he got a DUI.
Oh, no.
Oh, shit.
His girlfriend's passed out in the front seat of his car. So Christian, our tour manager, and I grab her and pick her up, put her in our van, and take her back to their place, put her to bed, find places to sleep, and go to bed and wake up the next morning. And she's like freaking out. Where's my boyfriend? Where's my boyfriend? We're like, oh, honey, you don't remember shit, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Your boyfriend got a DUI last night. We brought you home. You were asking for him when we got here. We couldn't tell you anything, but he was in jail. You went to bed. We went to bed. Now here we are. But he got out the next day. Everything was fine. But that was picking up his drunk, passed out girlfriend and putting her in our van. Like the girls, it was interesting for sure.
Third party perspective probably didn't look too good in that situation.
No, probably not. But at least the cops already knew what we were doing, so that's fine.
Yeah. So they knew it was on the up and up.
Yeah. Um, shit. There's too many to tell. Too many that I can't tell.
You don't want to betray anybody's trust.
Um,
Just tell where are the bodies buried?
all over the place.
All over the country, all over the globe.
All over the globe. For sure.
So, let's see. What is some like what is your essential gear? What is your gear rundown? What's your I know you use a couple different kits, but what is your favorite kit to use right now?
I play a 5-piece, 1 up and 2 down. I like big drums. My pork pie is a 24 by 20.
Oh shit.
My Oakwist kit that I have up here is a 24 by 18, but it's got a 6-inch front hoop on it.
Oh, you have the extended hoop in the front?
Yeah.
What does that
Okay.
do exactly? Low end?
It adds a little bit of resonance. It doesn't do much but look pretty fucking sweet.
Okay. I was always curious about that because Varus is a drum company that always has those big hoops in the front. So I was thinking it was just aesthetic.
It's more of a look thing than anything else. But I'm actually having Jesse build me a 14-inch rack tom for the white kit because I went 12, 16, 18, and it's too small. And
Yeah.
I might go 2 up, 2 down and have 12, 14, 16, 18. My 18 is UFO, so it's 8 inches deep.
Oh, right on.
It's not clearly kick drum.
Yeah, that's what that was that same video where you were playing traditional grip. I was like, are you using a second snare? Was that 18-inch floor, or was that the smaller floor tom?
That had to have been. I think that was my pork pie kit that I used in that video, and I think that was the 18-inch floor tom. My pork pie is 24, 13, 16, 18.
Okay.
The 18's a full 18 floor.
Nice. And that was custom built by Bill Denimore?
It was.
Nice.
I hit him up and got it all to my specs, all the colors, and Bill crushed it. He did an absolute. It's. I forgot how good that drum set sounds when I went down to track some stuff for the Bombpops. I just setting it up and hitting it. Just when I got to the rehearsal studio, sat down and I kicked the bass drum and I was like, "Oof! Damn! I forgot about this thing."
Yeah.
It's a monster. It's a monster, and it sounds as big as it looks for sure. I love that kit. I had to have a kit down there. I had to have a kit up here. I've got 2 kits up here. I've got that one in LA, and I've got my other PDP actually that I need to finish cleaning up to send to my nephew out in Atlanta. He wants to start playing drums, and I figured the drum set that his grandparents, my parents, bought me would be fitting for his first drum set. And if he ever quits playing drums or doesn't want to play drums, then he just sends it back to me, and everything's fine.
Is that old PDP with all the stickers on it?
Yeah. It still sounds just as good as the day I bought it, man. It's a well-built drum set.
PDP is the shit. What about those pies? What kind of cymbals are you using?
Zildjian A customs. Right now I've got 2 A custom medium crashes, 1 A custom regular crash, a 21-inch A custom Rezo ride, and standard A hats.
Are you using the 15-inch hats or the 14?
I've got the 14s. I'm about to buy a set of Istanbuls off of a buddy that have 15-inch hats, and I'm really stoked on it.
Right on. I kind of want to go up to the 15-inch hats. They sound fucking just big.
Yeah, Dave Ron from Lagwagon was playing 16-inch hats, and he was just using 2 crash cymbals as hi-hats.
That seems to be the thing that cool kids are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of slosh, though. I don't know how you get...
A little too much.
Yeah, I mean, I still want my hats to cut, especially your style of music. Like, you don't want a frequency of hi-hats that blends with everything else. Like, you need something that is higher pitched, higher frequency.
Yeah, totally.
The last couple questions here. What drummer is piquing your interest lately, or drummers that are on your radar?
Uh, to be perfectly honest, I don't really pay attention all that much. If I see a good drummer, rad. If not, I don't. I I don't know, man. I don't. There are a lot of really good drummers out there, and I mean,
How about the ones that really feel like influenced your playing?
I mean that list is incredibly long, and nobody
Who
has.
was the drummer? Who was the drummer that you saw them and at that was the very moment? Who was the drummer that you identify with the moment you decided I'm playing drums?
Some random drummer that was playing drums in my living room when I was like 6 years old, probably.
Really?
Parents used to have big holiday parties, and they'd have a live band playing in our living room. And every single time, without fail, I would sit Indian style right in front of the PA speaker, and that's where I would fall asleep. Every My dad would pick me up and carry me to my bedroom. The band would always leave all their gear. A bunch of drunk people stayed the night. I would wake up super early, go out, and strum the guitars and beat up the drums and wake up everybody. I had no idea, but at a very young age, it grabbed me, and going into sixth grade, my parents asked me what I wanted to do, if I wanted to take art class or wood shop or choir or band, and I decided band. And they're like, "What instrument do you want to play?" I'm like, "Drums." I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to play any instruments. Let's learn one. And I think I made the right choice. It's a great stress relief. Just beating up your drums after a shitty day or whatever.
Everybody wants to be the drummer, man. Come on, like everybody wants to do the trash can endings and the double bass and
So it's the worst job, but it's the coolest job.
yeah. I mean, I mean, the lead singer's always going to get more attention than you, and
Of course.
especially in your situation. Oh my gosh, like
Yeah. Tell me about it.
yeah. I mean, I'll keep it PC, but they're very, very attractive ladies.
I knew the job that I was hired to do when I joined this band, and that's to be a solid rhythm section.
Yeah.
We're doing a pretty damn good job at that.
You accomplished that, man. I've been listening to Bombpops pretty much all afternoon, and you hold it down, man. There's
You and I have been
no
playing.
flash. There's no extra flab. I mean, you play to the song and you prioritize that, and it's respect, man.
You and I have been playing music together for 18 years, so that comes with it. Um, Us together in an ensemble, you don't have to worry about your rhythm section. We've got this. Just do your thing. Um, and it's comfortable to have that type of connection with somebody else on stage without having to think or even make eye contact. We're reading each other's minds constantly,
Right.
and that type of connection only comes with time. Without that, it just doesn't. It works, but it doesn't work the same.
Makes sense.
Well, I guess to close out here, last question. Do you have anything you want to plug? Anything coming up? I know you said you got a couple shows coming.
We've got those two festivals booked. The Bombpops are putting out a internet pre-recorded stream in the near future. We're hoping it's not announced yet.
it just got announced.
Um, and I'm waiting to get vaccinated. The rest of my band is vaccinated. I just want shows to be back. That's number one. Once that happens, then life will be a little bit better for everybody. Um, And it seems like it's slowly happening. So let's hope that some other fucking bullshit doesn't happen and stop it from happening.
Well, we will definitely include a link to your socials. We'll get all that info from you, put it in the description box so people can follow you and they know about upcoming live streams, any shows that you're doing. They'll be. It sounds like all over, right? I mean, you might be in Arizona in a couple months, live stream, maybe shows in LA as well.
Got an offer for a national tour in September. So
Oh, nice.
Crossing our fingers for that. Yeah, I'm hoping that things kind of return back to normal, whatever normal was or is.
A new normal, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I'm excited. I need to play live music again. Not playing for people sucks. Playing is fine. Playing is good. Playing is great, but not getting it out there. And the cool thing is, there people have had a year to listen to the record. So now if we go out and we play the entire new record, people are going to know the songs. So that's like the one benefit to this whole pandemic thing happening right as we put out a record. But it's good because we'll be able to play more off of the record and not weird out an audience. So that's got to take the good with the bad, I guess.
Well, it sounds like you're doing a good job adapting and making the most out of it. I mean, you're definitely way ahead of other people that don't live in the same state. I mean, you definitely got a good system going on. So
yeah, we've got the girls are really good with socials, and we've got a good online presence, and we just try to keep the content coming and being. That's what we are right now, is content creators.
Yeah.
Not really musicians.
That's basically what everybody's become over the pandemic.
Yep.
It is.
Got to up your game.
Way to describe it. We're not musicians. We're content creators. We're putting stuff online. And while that's fine, it's not ideal. It's not what I want to do. I want to play live music.
Same.
And if I can't, then I won't. But I think we're going to be able to pretty soon. So.
Hopefully everything goes smoothly and you can get on the fucking road again in September.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping for something to happen. I want to hop in a van again. I'm ready for it. I think that's all our time though. But Josh, thanks you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Make sure to go check out the Bombpops and Murderland. That's one of my personal favorite bands. So definitely check out both. And this is Dumb and Drummer, and Josh, thank you again.
Sick.
Thanks, man. Take care.
Thanks for having me, guys.